Welcome back. It is day 29 of the Every Bit Counts challenge, almost done. And today we are going to be making corn relish. Corn relish is one of those things that's wonderful to keep in your pantry and just pull out for a really quick and easy side, because I don't know about you, but it takes enough brain energy to figure out what I'm going to cook. And if I have just a slab of pork chops or something like that, I love having ready to go sides. And so this is a really wonderful, tasty side dish, and it uses up a lot of your extra veggies you have laying around. I'm using the corn relish recipe from the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. This is a fantastic book, especially if you're new to preserving. It's got all kinds of different recipes in it. It's fabulous. It's a great reference. It's got all the how-tos. This is a great book. So I will link this down below, but this recipe comes straight from there. Now the first thing we're going to do with this is kind of gather our ingredients. I need 8 cups of corn, which you can use fresh corn and shuck it yourself and pull the kernels off. I happen to have 8 cups of corn in my freezer, so we're going to use that. But either way, get yourself 8 cups of corn. And then I need 4 cups of diced bell peppers, mixed colors, ready to go. So let's go ahead and chop those. I got my chicken bucket over here and put my scraps in for the little chickens. All right, that is 4 cups of peppers. Next is 1 3/4 cups of diced celery. And the last thing we're going to chop is 1 cup of onion. All right, our 8 cups of corn, 4 cups of peppers, 1 3/4 cups of celery, and 1 cup of onions. And now we're gonna take it to the stove and mix it together. All right, over at the stove, we are gonna take some sugar, vinegar, and salt and make a brine for this. So the first thing we want is 1 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm gonna put it in a large pot. It's 1 1/4. Then we want 2 tablespoons of salt. And last but not least, 4 cups of vinegar. Now we're going to turn this on to a medium heat and we're going to let it boil. And while that's happening, we're going to stir a little bit to dissolve the salt and sugar up in the vinegar. And I'll see you back when it's boiling. All right, our pot is boiling. So now we are going to take our veggies and we're going to pour them in gently and stir them as we go. There's our celery and onions. And peppers. And last but not least, our corn. And we're going to stir it in really well. And while we're waiting on that to come back to a boil, we're going to stir in some seasonings. I need 2 tablespoons of dried mustard, two teaspoons of celery seed, and 2 teaspoons of ground turmeric. And I'm going to keep stirring this. Blend it really, really well. This looks amazing. Now, while that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead over here in a bowl and mix 1/4 of a cup of water and 2 tablespoons of this clear gel. And that's going to kind of thicken and help congeal all this together. And I'm going to stir this together really well and make a paste that I'm going to put in once this is boiling again. All right, so we are going to take this paste to make sure that we made with the clear gel and water, and we're going to pour it in, and we are going to stir this into our boiling mixture. It's going to take about 5 minutes, and this is going to start to thicken and kind of mound up together. So here's what it looks like right at the start, and then we'll look at it in just about 5 minutes once it's ready to go so you can see the consistency. All right, it has been 5 minutes, and if you can tell, it's significantly thicker, kind of able to be mounded up a little bit. That's what we're looking for. Now it's time to go in the jars. So this recipe calls for 6-pint jars. Now I already have my jars warmed because you don't ever want to put hot material in a cold jar. That's just a recipe for the jars to crack. They're clean, they're warmed. Even my canning water that I have in my canner is warmed. Now I don't have it filled all the way to the top, but I have a significant amount of water. It's about halfway full of hot water so that I can go ahead and settle these down in hot water. Always, 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 it needs to be the same temperature of what you're working with. So if I was raw packing with cold water or whatever, I would make sure my jars were not hot. They were cool to the touch. So same temperature so that you're not rapidly changing temperature because you don't want the glass to break on your jars. Now, we're gonna take this and fill it. It's super simple. We're gonna use 1/2 inch of headspace for this jar. I have this little headspace measurer that works great. However, you don't need a fancy tool. You can just use a little ruler and see where 1/2 inch is on your jar. Or if you can enough, you know by looking where 1/2 inch is. So we're gonna fill these up to 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch of headspace is from the material that you put in there to the top, very top rim of your jar. So let's go ahead and fill these jars. Now I'm using a canning funnel. You do not have to, but it makes it a little less messy. even though I'm still pretty messy. Now I'm going to take each of the jars and I'm going to take this end of my measurer and I'm just going to stick it down in and kind of break any bubbles that may be in there. You can use a knife. If you use a knife, be really super careful not to bang it up against the jar. You don't want fractures to happen. The safest, best way is to use something plastic or like a chopstick or something. And we just want to kind of settle that material down in there, just in case there's air bubbles. Sometimes air bubbles can cause the material not to seal well, so we just want to prevent those. And once it's settled down in there, you probably will have to fill it just a little bit more, and that's okay. That's right at 1/2 inch, but some of these others are not. Now I have just a tiny bit left in here, not enough for a can, and I'll just use this for dinner tonight, probably. Now before I seal these jars, I want to wipe off the rims really good, and if I got any material on the sides, but most especially the rims, because that's where the seal happens and you want that nice and clean. Nothing needs to come between the seal. And then when you seal, use a new lid and a nice clean ring. And you're going to seal it just barely tight and then a 1/4 turn more. Like we've said in our previous videos, you don't want to tighten too much because if you wrench down, sometimes that can hinder the jar from sealing. So just barely finger tight, a little bit more. Now I've got my hot water in here and I actually have some vinegar in my canner, and I do this because we have really hard water and this helps that water to not get calcification all over the jars. It doesn't hurt them, but it's less cleaning for me to do afterwards, and they come out nice and pretty. So I'm going to put these down in, and I'm putting them on a canning rack in my canner. And with water bath canning, you want your cans to be submerged at least 1 inch or so. And they are ready to go. The processing time for this recipe is 15 minutes, which means I'm going to take my canner to the stove, I'm going to cover it and bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, that's when I set my timer for 15 minutes. Once my jars have processed for 15 minutes, I will take the lid off and set my timer for another 15 minutes and turn the stove off. And that is going to allow the jars to cool a little bit before I just take them straight out of boiling water into the room temperature air. Sometimes when you take those jars out of the boiling hot water into room temperature air, they do what's called siphon. The material comes up out and it can really hinder the seal, and we don't want that to happen. So to prevent siphoning, we let them cool off a little bit in the canner. So I will see you back here when it's time to pull those jars out. Our relish is all done canning. Let's pull it out. And there we have it. 6 pints of corn relish to add to our stash. We only have 2 days left of our Every Bit Counts challenge, where we are canning something absolutely every day in the month of August. The month of August is almost over. Tomorrow we have on the schedule dill pickles, and then on the last day we're going to be making pear butter. And on that last day, we will pull out absolutely everything that we have canned and preserved all month long, so you can see really how much of a huge difference it makes to just take one little thing every day and make a huge push towards stocking our pantries. I know that y'all that have been canning and preserving along with us have seen that, but it really is a lot of food, even when you do just teeny tiny things. I would love to hear the things that you've been working on. What is your triumph of the month? What is your like thing that kind of flopped? Did you have anything that just didn't turn out well? I'd love to hear them. We would love to laugh and celebrate with you. If you missed any of our videos this month, we'll be putting them in a playlist down below. Be sure to check that out. It would really help out our channel if you hit that like button and that subscribe button. Thank you so much for joining us.